I'm so excited to be here, and we announced last year, and so here is going to be the latest of what we've been working on. Now here you've got your home page, and so I've got my desktop PSDs that I just easily sync over here. But for today, I'm going to actually start by creating a new project from scratch. I've got a customized document already set up, but I can pick from various presets if I so choose. And let's go ahead and start with Compositing Flow. So this 1.0 set of feature starts with that focused workflow, and we will gradually build on top of it. I'm going to go into libraries and grab some images that I have. I've got this nice forest scenery. What I like is I could have this panel still open and continue to pull from it, so various images, bring in this bright textured moss that I really like as well. And what I love about the iPad is that, I've got my same tool, so I've got my lasso tool, but tracing on the iPad just feels a lot more fun. So I want to cut out this bottom piece, and I could easily mask and just hide that bright sky that I don't want anymore. And then I could grab my paintbrush. So here I'm on the mask. I could just gradually blend these two layers together. I could blend it a little more, just change up the opacity, and now these two seem more of a scene. And, speaking of blending, I've even got a filter called Gaussian Blur as part of the 1.0, and I could just really create that depth effect in the back. So I'm going to finish this off by adding an adjustment layer and bring in some cyan and magical green and blue colors. And now I'm ready to add more into this composite. So here, I'm going to grab a mushroom. I like this one, although it's not fitting into the composite so smoothly quite yet. And again, I like using my lasso, so I'm just using my Apple pencil and just tracing around it. My first pass doesn't have to be perfect because I've got a non-destructive mask, which means that I could easily bring in pixels, or I could hide pixels. And so here I'm just quickly, for the sake of time for the demo, just hiding some of these pixels away. And you'll notice on the bottom left-hand corner, there's something we call the touch shortcut. And I could just hold down and bring some pixels back if I've missed them. Just zoom in and hold down and bring some of these textures back. And so I love the control I get with non-destructive editing. So here I want to make the mushroom pop, and I can do that easily by going into the layer properties. There's a shortcut to add a clipped layer. So here I'll just dial up that saturation. And even my adjustment layers have non-destructive masks, so I can go in, and parts of the red are a little too bright, so I'll just take some of this out, just erase some of that saturation that I brought in. And so again, a lot of precision and control here. So let's make this color pop even more. So I'm going to add a layer here, and let's take an orangey glow. And what I want to do is simply paint parts that I want highlights. And what I'm going to do is actually grab a blend mode, and I like overlay for this because now you can see this glow coming into effect, and it looks really cool. And I'm going to grab another color, let's say yellow, and just put in a little more touches. And it's just fun because I feel like I'm painting on, different colors of lighting. Let's just bring this forward and create a glow down here below, touching the rock. And I'm going to go back to my moss, again, bring back an adjustment layer by toning down exposure. They all have masks, so I could take part of this and really bring in the lighting by just painting. And so this is what I love about using the iPad and the pencil. Now, the last thing that I'll show you is more of a preview of what's coming. So we've got 1.0 and we're continuously bringing in more technology, and this is one thing that we are actually developing in process, and so I'll give you a preview of it. Now, selections is a huge part of compositing, and so we want to make that very precise and quick. So here I've got my 3 bears, and I could just tap select subject, and now it is selected my bears in a single tap. What I can do now is go into refining the edge, and let me just hop over to overlay so you could really see the detail. I want to get this first, so as I'm dragging my pencil tip around the border of these bears, you can see how it's selecting the fur but not selecting perhaps the gaps between the ears. Again, tracing with the Apple Pencil feels really natural, and in one trace, I'm done. I've got really precise bears that I could just bring down here, and let's go ahead and make this a little more blended, bring in that saturation. Let's take some of these claws out on the bottom. And for the finale, I will go ahead and bring in one more asset, which is the firefly scene. And again, blend modes are so powerful. I could go into screen, and now I have my full and final image all composited and done on the iPad. We are really looking forward to the 1.0 release, as well as bringing in more features to come. Thank you so much. Back to you, Simon.